Hey, how you doing? Still October 2nd. Got another thing I want to share with people. Over this, we had a nice 4-day weekend here for school, and I was at an Applebee's, and I heard this couple talking, about the President Donald Trump, this impeachment, all that's happening and stuff. And I got in a little conversation, and with the person I was with and talked, and I was saying, these people are racist. And the person was like, "Oh, you shouldn't call people racist. That's not nice. You don't know what they are." Trying to make it like racist is a curse word or something. I said something vulgar. Look, racist, that has a definition. People who view their race, as superior to another, they're called racist. And listening to the news, I think I brought this up before, and it keeps coming up. People are scared to call the president racist, call people racist. I mean, call people, here's what it is. I mean, does anyone really doubt that Donald Trump believes white people are superior to people of color? I mean, is that a debate? I mean, somebody hit me up and called me. I mean, to me, it's blatant. I don't even say racist as like an insult. It's a description of who he is. I'm a teacher. Trump's a racist. Like it's just who he is. He calls countries of people of color, black and brown, shithole countries. He'd rather have them from somewhere. I think he said Norway or something like that. Normally somewhere there. He live in brown and black people where you live, shithole place. I want people from Northern Europe, really white. Like that's his words. That's not mine. He started this whole presidency, or people call. I mean, you really think the way he's talked about Mexicans, people know well that he values them and thinks their lives are as valued as his other white people? I mean, he's a clear racist, and I don't want to go too much into it, but I think I get it. It's supposed to be like a bad word, but you got to call it what it is. You got to tell people what they are, and so you can check yourself. I remember some years back, whatever, this sister called me a chauvinist. I was like, I'm not a chauvinist, something like that. She's like, well, yeah, this and that. And at that time, I just dismissed her. And as you get older, you reflect. I'm like, well, what made somebody say that? And you got to think, hey, how you doing? You got to think what made people say what they say, do what they do, and you got to reflect upon that. And if you have racist behavior, someone points it out that you're racist, you should reflect upon yourself. Do you view other people outside your race's life as valuable as yours? Do you think it's more superior? You know what? I'm actually already tired of talking about this. Look, do this quick activity for yourself. If people who are racist and things of that nature, tell them to do this quick activity for themselves about this whole impeachment and going on, because I don't even know what's going on with Democrats and Republicans. It's like Crips and Bloods now. I think the Crips and Bloods have have a better time unifying now. It's more expected, when people see gangs come together and dropping the flags. And I expect Crips and Bloods to show more unity now than I expect any Republicans or Democrats. To me, the Republicans are completely, like whatever this guy says, we're going to go with it for better or worse. But here's the activity. At the end of, the name of the movie leaves me. Oh, I think it was A Time to Kill. Yeah, it was A Time to Kill. Samuel Jackson, all that. Black girl, beaten, raped, and left for dead, right? And so at the end, the lawyer, who was that? It was that crazy guy from the car commercials, Matthew something. So he's talking to the all-white jury, right? Because the father, Samuel Jackson, kills these guys who raped and beat his daughter, and they're trying to get some compassion for him. And so it goes like this. He describes in gruesome detail everything that happened to this girl. He talks about how they dragged her, how they threw beer cans at her in her head, full beer cans knocking her out, how they raped her and abused this little girl over and over again, and how they beat her and threw her off a bridge, somebody that landed in the water. They describe this detail that is horrible for me. Like, I just feel uncomfortable listening to it. And then the big shocker, and the music changes everything, is when he says, now suppose she's white. Right? Check out the movie. Now I want you to think of how deep that is. A little girl being abused and raped, and there's no emotion until the lawyer says, now picture her as white. And then all of a sudden it flashes to the jury and they're like, dun dun dun. Like, that's the big deal. Like, that's the sickness in this country. Is that the abuse and suffering of other people, oftentimes, many of us, it means nothing. It means nothing at all until it happens to one of your own. And so I listen to people. I used to have people who were Republicans who I considered friends. We'd have debates and stuff. I didn't agree with them. Like, how could you vote that way? But I considered them friends, and I enjoyed the intellectual debate. That's not true anymore. I don't have, well, let me check myself. I may have Republican friends. I don't have any friends that are Trump supporters. It's sad for me to say that, maybe it sounds shallow, but I have no friends who supports what this guy is doing. And people who think, oh, you see, this is the crazy thing about racism. Racism is so illogical. Like, this whole concept that you could listen to me, but tomorrow if I'm green or if I'm purple, if I'm a different color, then there's no value. You can't listen to me anymore because you don't like the color I am. It's so illogical that I think people lose what's going on. They're like, oh, how could Trump talk to the Russian president and then he's talking to the Ukraine president trying to get dirt on stuff? For a racist, that racists aren't based on country or nation. They're based on color. So Trump is talking, when he talks to the Russian president, that's just one white man talking about another white man. Talking to another white man to keep power, to keep a white supremacist in power. And they're cool with that. Ukraine president, Trump's going to him to get dirt on Biden. That's just a white supremacist going to another white man to try to get dirt on this other white guy who, supports the Negroes over here. I think that's important too for black people to keep in mind. Because I know sometimes when I'm supporting like white people, brothers be like, oh, no, you ain't conscious, you ain't woke. Don't forget, a lot of white folks died too. Not saying we need to praise them, nothing like that, but, don't forget, if you were white and you were in the Underground Railroad and you were, hiding black people in your basement or your attic or the walls, and they found out, yeah, they'd kill the black people, they're going to kill you too. And they're going to burn down your house. So don't miss that part, that a white supremacist may try to destroy another white guy who they feel is not down with them. But let's end with this. Just imagine for a second, Barack Obama. Remember at the end, Trump was like, Obama tried to investigate me. So Barack Obama goes to the Kenyan president. He's like, I got roots. My father's from Kenya. You're Kenyan. I want you to help me, leader of Kenya from another country, to help me get dirt on this guy Trump in our country so we can stop him from being president. If you're a Republican Trump supporter and you think that you're not racist, sit at home, reflect quietly, and just think of the feeling of finding out that President Obama went to the Kenyan leader to try to dig up dirt on Trump. And whatever you're feeling at that moment, if you're not feeling that right now about Trump going to Ukraine, you know you're a racist. You may not be a Klansman, you may not be a skinhead, but you have a different standard of when a person goes outside of the country to dig up dirt to try to destroy the career of one of its own citizens. If you're okay when a white guy does it, but the concept of Barack Obama and an African president trying to destroy a white man's political chances in this country, and that bothers you, you're a racist. Work on it. Don't be mad. Get better. All right, this is DeVeaux Speaks for today. Peace.